Hello guys, this is Minal Verma and today we are going to learn another series, that is the section 4 from tables from KD Tripathi. So let's begin our video, and before starting the video I request you to press the bell icon for the further notification and subscribe my channel if you are new to my channel. So let's see what all tables are given over here from the hormones and related drugs section. So the important one are hormones and their functions. So the direct questions are usually asked as there is a question, metabolic rate is affected by which of the hormone? So the answer comes here, T3 and T4. There could be a question that the calcium balance is caused by which hormones? Which hormones are responsible for the calcium balance? That is parathormone, calcitonin and vitamin D. So this way direct questions can be asked. The next important table is chemical nature of some hormones, like TRH, thyrotropin releasing hormone, is a tripeptide in nature. Then it comes prolactin, release inhibitory hormone. Then it is dopamine in nature, and then it's somatostatin, it is 14 amino acid. Somatostatin is. This way they can ask the questions like how many amino acids are present in a specific hormone, then you have to answer it. If you remember this table, then you can answer it easily. Next comes the certain mechanism of action of hormones. Like they could ask that at cell membrane which all hormones are acting. The answer comes over here, these adrenaline, TSH, FSH, LH, vasopressin, oxytocin and many more. Then at cytoplasmic receptor, which hormones are acting? The answer comes here is steroidal hormones, that is mainly glucocorticoid, mineralocorticoid, estrogen, androgen, progesterone, calcitriol. As well as the mechanism of action is also stated in these tables. So learn them properly. Next comes at nuclear receptor, which hormones are acting? That is thyroid hormones, both thyroxine and triiodothyronine, that is T3 and T4. Next comes the synthesis, storage and secretion of thyroid hormone. So in this table, they have explained how the synthesis of thyroid hormone takes place. So the first step is trapping of iodide. This trapping of iodide takes place, then this is converted into the follicular cell. All this process takes place in the follicular cells, and the parafollicular cells are responsible for parathormone. Now after getting this iodide, the conversion to monoiodotyrosine, then coupling with thyroid peroxidase, and then again endocytosis takes place, and then the lysosomes capture the specific thyroglobin, and this way the monoiodothyroxine, diiodothyroxine, T3 and T4 finally is synthesized, and final conversion also takes place, that is T4 is converted into T3. So this table is very important for understanding the mechanism of action. Direct questions from these tables are very rare. Next is the comparison. Comparison is must. I must say that propyltyrosol and carbimazole questions could be asked like, once there was an assertion and reason, they were given assertion for propyltyrosol, and we have to find out that which one of the following is wrong. So you have to learn this properly. Like plasma T half for propyltyrosol is 1 to 2 hours, while for carbimazole it is 6 to 10 hours. Then for propyltyrosol we have no active metabolite, while carbimazole is a prodrug. It is converted into active metabolite, that is methimazole. And propyltyrosol inhibits the peripheral conversion of T4 to T3, while carbimazole is not responsible for any such conversion. So learn this table properly. Next comes the type 2 diabetes mellitus treatment approaches. So this way the direct questions cannot be asked from this table, but this is important with respect to the concept clearing of yours. Next is amino acids could be asked. They could ask that in humans 8th amino acid is which in A chain and B chain of insulin. Then you have to learn these amino acids. Then for functions of insulin, this is also for clearing your doubts. There could be least questions. I think no questions could be asked from this directly, but they could ask you that adipose tissue is responsible for which process. So it is responsible for inhibit lipolysis and release of free fatty acid, by the action of insulin on adipose tissue. So this question can be framed from this. Next comes, this is very important because direct questions are asked from these tables, as they could ask you which one of the following is rapid acting. So you have to learn this way. Lispro aspartate glucine is rapid acting. Short acting is regular insulin. Intermediate is NPH or isophane, and long acting is glargine and protamine zinc insulin. Next, if there is a deficiency of insulin, then what would happen? There could be ketosis, as well as there could be hyperglycemia. Since insulin is not there to metabolize the glucose, hyperglycemia can take place, and so on. Glycosuria, increased levels of glycogen also, and that's why osmotic diuresis, that is the osmotic balance is disturbed now, and this way we have a loss of electrolytes, intracellular potassium depletion takes place, and hypertension, shock and tachycardia as the respective symptoms of all this process. As well as if there is a acidosis, means increased levels of acid secretion, as well as ketonuria, that is ketone bodies are excreted in the urine. Then ketosis, so this ketosis is responsible for all this acidosis, ketonuria, and impairment of glucose entry into the brain, and this way consciousness can also be lost. Vomiting can also take place, dehydration, and when there is a dehydration, hypertension and shock are the common symptom we can observe. That's why this is for concept clearing table. Next is management approach in diabetes mellitus. So this way they could ask you if there is a well nourished patient but uncomplicated, then if diabetes mellitus takes place, that is type 2 DM takes place to the patient, if is affected from this specific, then which of the drug can be given to him. The case study questions can be framed from this, as well as you can frame direct questions like if there is a child who is underweight and there is a problem like surgery takes place, then what will you provide them? So you can give insulin, or you can give insulin plus bicarbonate and sulfonylurea. This way case study questions can be asked from this. Next is adrenal steroid hormone synthesis. So this is also very important, as questions can be framed as pregnenolone is synthesized from which steroid? So answer is cholesterol. So aldosterone is synthesized from which specific corticosteroid? So answer is cholesterol. Then pregnenolone. This way you have to learn this table. Next is regulation of corticosteroids production and response to stress. So they could ask questions from the specific three parts, like glomerulus produce which hormone? So it is aldosterone. Fasciculata and reticularis. So fasciculator produce hydrocortisone and reticularis produce dehydroepiandrosterone. So basically these are the three layers of adrenal cortex, that is adrenal medulla part and there is adrenal cortex part. Two parts are there in adrenal gland. So these glomerular, fascicular, reticularis are part of adrenal cortex, and from medulla, adrenal medulla is responsible to produce adrenaline. So these questions can be framed from this table. Next is the mechanism of action of glucocorticoids. So this table is also important with respect to your concept clearing. Direct questions are rare from this part. Next is, this structure is very important, because usually what they do, I have also prepared a separate YouTube video for this. You can check out in the previous video how to name the steroids. So this way you will get idea how to learn all these structures at a trick, by a simple trick. So you can check out the video. Next is regulation and production of sex steroids in males. So in this is also for your concept clearing, how the dihydrotestosterone is synthesized and released in the body. Next is androgen action at different sites, like testosterone and dihydrotestosterone. We know both of them are the male sex hormones and they are responsible for different activities. So which hormone is responsible for which activity is shown in this table. So this is for your concept clearing. Next is, there are two types of natural estrogen and synthetic estrogen. So in these tables I have not given the classification of each and every series, but you can refer them from KD Tripathi classifications. But in this table I have given so because natural estrogen and synthetic estrogen can be stated here clearly. Then comes the oral contraceptive preparations. So questions could be asked like, Mala D is what? It is norgesterone. Then it could be the orthonovum is what? Then it is northindron. So here comes important for you to learn the specific brand names, as well as they could ask you that which one of the following is mini pills. So it is northindron, norgestrol. This way you have to learn this. Then comes the plasma calcium level. So there comes increase reabsorption takes place by which of the hormones, and decrease the reabsorption of calcium takes place which of the specific hormones or drugs. So here it is stated, and you have to learn this table. This table is very important because that questions are usually asked. Next is regulation of plasma levels of calcium. So for this they could be asked. So this is the next table. In this we are going to see the regulation of plasma level of calcium. So how plasma is responsible for the maintenance of calcium level. So in plasma the calcitonin is responsible for reabsorption from bones, and calcitonin is also responsible for reabsorption of calcium from kidney, and the vitamin D is responsible for calcium reabsorption from intestine, and the parathormone is responsible for maintenance of calcium from bone. So this way these three hormones are responsible for the maintenance of calcium inside the plasma. Then comes the activation of vitamin D. How vitamin D is activated? So this 7-dehydrocholesterol is converted and it is synthesized in skin, as we know. But when UV rays fall on our skin, so this 7-dehydrocholesterol is converted into cholecalciferol, that is vitamin D3, and then it is converted into calciferdiol, that is 25-hydroxy D3, and which is converted into active form, that is calcitriol. So if there is a question comes, so which one is the active form of vitamin D? The answer for you is calcitriol, and its name is 1,25 dihydroxy D3. So this is the active form of vitamin D. Then this was all about the series of hormones. Next time I'll ready with another table. So thank you for watching my video and like my video. Thank you.